Well, my little bunch of fuzzy bears, look at this. Wow. Isn't this, wow, look at this display here. Isn't it funny what fate puts in front of you? I'm guessing 15, 20 years ago, I used to drive for Brock Metals. They had 8-wheelers, they had an ERF with an Eaton twin split box on it, flatbed. I used to pick up aluminium ingots and go deliver to ERA, which is just around the corner more or less. And they also had a Foden, a white Foden 8-wheeler, because it was the metal, it was weight, you know, blocks of ingots doing deliveries. And look what's come to me this weekend. Wow, isn't fate funny, isn't it? And me being a bit of a, you know, thank you very much, Steve. Very much, Steve. You didn't realise at the time, did you, that there's a possibility, I mean, it's a million in one possibility, that I may have delivered the material, the aluminium ingots, or the alloy ingots, to this factory that may have made these parts. Who knows? But wow, what a lovely display. Wow. And sort of a time of locks that have ended, because we're all mostly plastic, aren't we? I mean, and this is, it's going to be, we're going to have a look at my house, and we'll be looking closely at locks in a minute. So let's first of all investigate each one. So look at this one. This one has like an Allen key to it. Has a funny sort of Allen key to it. And that goes in there. That must connect in there like that. Look, a closing window. And you use your little Allen key and you screw that down. And that locks it in. That locks it in place. Yeah. Isn't that just great? We'll lock that down now. Hold on. If you can see, the little thread has come through. The little thread has come through and has come down the top of there. Can we see that? Can we see that? Yeah. Here we are. You see the little thread has come forward, it's come down. Yeah. I've driven that thread down. Yeah. See the little, driven the, hold on. Now we can see it. It's driven this little thread here down here, which would have gone into this little holder here, which would have kept it locked. Yeah. There's that one. This one is simply a latch. Just a simple, it's window. It wouldn't be good enough for a door, but if you just wanted to keep a door, a little window shut, I don't know if it would be plastic windows or it would be wooden windows. I guess this is all made for wooden stuff. But yeah, a little simple lock there. This one seems to sit on top of that, and it locks its jaws onto it. Again, another simple window type lock. And then here we've got this one here, like sort of a window frame jammer. You put it in, it clicks into place, then it's locked, and then you use your key to open it. You put your key in, which then opens it, a door, another window type or a door type jammer one. So this seems to be an improvement. This one's got what they call a keep. So this one, you would click it forward, it would go, this would be in the frame, it would go through that little hole. So this one would be an easy one to shut. You wouldn't need a key to lock it on a thing. You push it forward, clicks in place, and then when you want to open it, you'd use your little key to just open it. Yeah. And they're all much of a muchness sort of keys. ERA keys. And I guess this is for some sort of sliding mechanism, sliding doors or something. And again, the bolt just clicks in and out. Just clicks in, can you see? Look, you fix it to the, you know, a lock is only as good as its fixings. So you'd screw that in, and then as this shuts, it covers those screw holes so you can't unscrew it, it's locked. Otherwise, you'd just unscrew the lock off the surface, wouldn't you? So yeah, that's a clever one. It's a good idea, that one. Yeah. Of course, great thing. These spy holes are amazing. I'll show you where I use one of these spy holes. I use one behind my garage door, so that if there's something going on outside, I can be in here. They don't know I'm in here, and I can look through my little hole, in the little spy hole, and see if there's somebody there, if it's anything to do with me or nothing to do with me. They're really good, these little peaky bow holes, because it's got like, what's it called, a fisheye the other side of it. Then again, look, we've got the safety chain. Do we still use safety chains? I think you do on flat doors, or if you're opening a door you can't see anyone the other side, you would use this, wouldn't you? You would do that, and it would just secure the door from somebody rushing the door. Yeah, I think they're still relevant today, those. And again, look, the Yale lock. Wow. This is the other side of a key door. Hold on a minute. At the moment, it's locked. Yeah. Now it's unlocked. So you can come and go. You can slam the door. Doors slam, aren't they? But you can put it on the click. So who remembers the saying? Come on in, I've put the door on the click. Who remembers that? I've put the door on the click. Yeah. You used to do that, didn't you? You could put that and you could leave the door. Shut it with an ordinary sort of latch. And it wasn't locked until you released it. And now it's locked. It won't move until it's got the key. This also operates via a slam plate, which I'll show you in a minute, which is the other side of this. I'll show you the other side of this in a minute. This would have been the other side of that lock. That would have been your front door key. Yeah, so get you in and out. So that was a, you know, that's one of those. I'll show you another one of those in a minute. Yeah. And then we've got the, what would you call these, old-fashioned keys? This was the lock for the door. Security bolts, what would you call them? There's a name for that, isn't there? And the keep as well, isn't it? This is the keep. Now usually it's just a faceplate, but this is inside a box, so it's a bit more stronger and securer. And you see this bends down, so this rubs against there, slams in. You can slam this door shut. Yeah, you slam this door shut, it shuts itself automatic. Then of course you have to open it with a handle. I'll show you the handles that go through the door, square piece. Yeah. And then this. Wow. We've got a huge conversation to be about this, because I've got these all over my house as a throwback from whatever was before. And we'll discuss that. I live in a pre-war house. Yeah. And hang on in there, and we'll look at how many of these and where they're placed in my house. Yeah. So anyway, remember these, it's not a special key, it's just a key. If you had one of these, you could open every lock of these. But yeah, again, security mad. So whilst I'm here, let me show you my lock collection. Oh yeah, this has come off a display, look. The old locks, who remembers those on the doors, on the big wooden doors? Wow. That's just a straight key lock, that is. That's the one that goes inside the door, isn't it? Again, just a key, just a lock. The handle, I'll show you them. That's a better keep because it's got the backing on it. Another lock. This one, yeah. There was ERA and there was Yale. I'm sure I've got a Yale in here somewhere. Another one, put it on the click. Who remembers these? Putting the door on the click. Yeah. There's the partner to that. That goes in there like that, look. Yeah. Again, the back of a door. I'll show you what that is there. Hold on. Yeah, how you'd operate it from the other side of the door. That's a door handle and a lock. The others were just locks. That's a door handle and a lock. Here's another one. Door handle and a lock. Another one. Another slam lock. Yeah. How many people locked themselves? These were the days when you hid a key under the stone or under the carpet, just in case you locked yourself out. You slammed the door and you're locked out. You had to put the door on the snitch, on the lock. You had to lock the door open for you to come and go. Yeah. Now this is more modern. These are these. They're called anti-snap. You snap these, you can get through them easy. Here's another one. I'll show you that in a minute. That square handle. See, that's just purely a lock. This is a door handle and a lock. So you can slam this door shut, it won't open on you. It's a slam lock, that. Yeah. Again. Locks. There we are. That's the more modern security lock that goes in there. They're all the same. Here we are. A bit more modern. That shows its age. That's got a bit of older design. That's a bit more modern design. That's the one. That's the one that they must have made millions and millions of little Yale locks with that little button on there like that. That's a keep for one of them. That's a lock. And these are, that's a union lock, this is. Yeah. That's a lock and a keep. Hold on a minute, let me just go and get that for you. Got plenty of them. They're down here somewhere. Here we are, look. These are the bars that go through the door. Got any more? There's some slightly bigger, slightly longer, slightly shorter. Here we are, see. It's a slightly smaller one. It's a slightly bigger one. You cut them to whatever size you want. But they're all pretty standard. Yeah. Got a lock. Your door is either locked or it's open. It's just a lock. These are more of a slam lock, so you can slam it shut and keep shut. And you know, this is what drives the handle. Have you ever wondered? I know I should have brought the other one. Hold on. So yeah, this is what connects them in between. This is a slam lock. So you can lock it with the key if you want to. Let's lock it with the key. So you've got your door, you've slammed it shut. The keep, hold on, let's get a keep for you. You've got your door. Is that going to work? Yeah. So you've got your door, you've slammed your door shut. That's easily passed by. See, now the door is shut, so the wind isn't going to open it. But so you've got your handle, you can come in and out. You've got your access coming in and out because your handle's connected to this on the outside of the door, both sides. So, and then if you want to do it a bit more permanent, you can then lock it. So your little lock goes in its keep. So you can lock it permanently on your way home. You leave it open, the handle opens and shuts it. And it stops because it's a slam lock. You can slam it shut and the wind doesn't open. You have to turn the handle to get in. The same, these are the same. You know, you can open it from the inside without a key and get out. You can open it from the outside with a key if you want to come in, or if you've say you've got a visitor coming, then you can leave it open. You can leave it on the snick, on the lock, but then also once you've took it off the lock, you can also lock it shut as well from the inside, so nobody can operate the key. So you can lock it open, you can leave it open so you can get out and somebody can come in with a key, or if you're indoors and you want to lock the door, or if you're expecting a visitor, it's on the snitch. So somebody shouts at you, how many times you said, "Hello, Reggie, are you in?" "Oh yeah, the door's on the snitch, come in." And you would just come in, wouldn't you? Yeah. And then you could do that, couldn't you? But then of a night time, in case somebody tried to pick your lock, you could lock the lock from the inside. Yeah. Big ones and small ones, depending on what lock you wanted to. So there's the locks. And these are the little bits. They always made little bits of everything, all matching. There's the handle, look. Different thicknesses of door, you know, different certificates, different types. These are plastic window handles, those are. Again, the locks for the doors, the little catches. Let me find you a Yale lock. So you recognise these, don't you? The front of the lock, and then you've got the little surround that goes around it. And then these go in the back of the other locks. Hold on. So when you, I haven't got the key for this at the moment, but if that was in its hole in the door, the little flat bar comes through, and you see you can cut it to the thickness of the door, if it's a thin door or a thick door, whatever you want. And then that then opens the lock on the door, depending obviously which way it shuts. Left hand, right hand, inside, outside. You see? And you've all seen these, haven't you? On the doors. And there's all sorts of makes. That one's a Leggett. There's a Union, yeah, there's a Yale. What else was there? There's all sorts. And let me tell you something. These have come off displays. Do you know when they change a supplier, or they say, right, it's very similar to that, a display, you'll find a lot of the time in the backs of the shops when they throw out a display, a range or a whatever, it's the actual real lock. It's not a display lock and half the inside is missing or something. They'll just get a brand new lock and just put it on display. So whenever you see these being thrown away because they've changed suppliers or whatever, they don't do that anymore. You'll find these are that's not some sort of display one. That's an actual real good one, like a brand new one. A lot of these display ones. And of course, to display them, they've got the key on a chain. So you've got the key and you've got the lock. So watch out for these being thrown out, because it's the real thing it's the actual real lock, complete brand new locks that they put on these displays. So come on, let's do a bit of investigation in the house. They call this a pre-war house, the age of it. So the house is about 100 years old or so. And lo and behold, look, this is the kitchen. Well, it is the kitchen now. These houses originally had a very narrow kitchen along here. Yeah, notice how deep that is with the extension. But this is the original depth of the house, it's just here. So if you come along, it was mighty narrow along here. But from there to here has been the extension put on it before we bought it. Yeah, so obviously would have had a back door of some sort, There's this double security. It's an internal door. Let's see what else these locks are telling us. Have another one. There was a lounge here and there was a dining room, because that was the way them days. You didn't really knock through, I guess, to keep the place warm. But can you see, look, this has got one, and you're locking yourself out. Why is that there? That's there, look, one way. Locking yourself out of your own dining room. There was French doors here when we first bought it, a little wall, 2 doors and a little wall. French doors, and when we changed it to them sliding doors, and now we've put bifolds. But these are the original doors on the house. And look, so why would you lock yourself out of your own dining room? And under the stairs, look. I can sort of imagine being locked under the stairs using one of these simple keys. It's not like security and a real key. Let's keep looking. So here we are now in the bathroom. I can imagine, I can agree, you know, you put a little lock on the inside of the bathroom door, that's fine. But why would you put one of these on the outside of the bathroom? Maybe it wasn't a bathroom originally. Maybe this is here from the original when they first built them. I think they call these pine doors. They like to strip all the paint off these, don't they? But these are the original doors. So that's the bathroom, or what is the bathroom now. Let's try this room. This is the rear bedroom, this is now. And yet the rear bedroom has got one inside. Isn't that odd? Why would you want to lock yourself in your bedroom? Why would you want to put a lock there? And it's in the frame, it's a proper, somebody's done a, you know, it's a puzzle, isn't it? Because obviously this house has had many keepers and many uses. This is the front bedroom, and it doesn't seem to have had one, unless it's been replaced at some time. Look, that might have had something with a keyhole there. It's had a bigger lock at some time in there, hasn't it? And the frame, there's nothing in the frame. So there was no lock on that door. It's now it's the box room. Now it's the office, you know. But isn't it a puzzle? Why would you want to lock yourself in your own bedroom? These locks are here, and they've been here since we bought the house. I'll show you how long we've had the house for. And who remembers the front door? Who remembers your granny's house always had a bolt in the bottom and a bolt in the top, didn't it? This had a wooden door. We've changed it now. This is the second time we've changed the windows. When we first moved in, we did all the windows and the doors, and then the condensation came. The seals went on the glass, so we used that windows to build the greenhouse in the back, and then we redid it. They became noisy. When the wind blew a certain way, the whole house used to go, ooh, used to whistle. Yeah. So this is the second bout of plastic doors and windows. But when we first moved in here, this was quite a substantial wooden door there, with a bolt across the top and a bolt across the bottom. Been here since 1997. Yeah. Done the roof, done the windows, done the front, done the back. We've done quite a lot of work to it, but it's basically the very same house, you know, just been modernised a bit. We didn't do the extension, but we put these bifolds in. But we paid 40. It's public knowledge. Go on Zoopla, you can check out how much any house was sold for. 97, we paid 41 for it. Isn't it crazy that the price of the houses are now? It's just not fair to the young people, is it? Just not fair that the price of houses and homes have gone through the roof. What I find mind-boggling is you spend twice as much of the value of your house when you bought it first time on your vehicles, and they're gonna end up in a scrapyard. One day they'll be scrap, won't they? I'm going to the scrapyard, and yet the money just increases in property. Just mind-boggling, isn't it?